Hello, my name is Chris, and today I would like to talk to you about drinking alcohol when quitting smoking. The time that I'm making this video is nearly Christmas. People are going off to parties and celebrations and getting together with friends and family. The booze is flowing, and for many people that's not a problem. Like, the worst thing that is going to happen is that they'll wake up the morning after and have a bit of a sore head. For those of us quitting smoking, it can be disaster. Everything is going well with our quit, and then a few beers in or a few glasses of wine in, drinking triggers a craving, it triggers a compulsion, triggers an insatiable urge to smoke. An urge that under normal circumstances we would be able to get through because we are so committed to being smoke free. We are so committed to not smoking that we can get through anything. However, the alcohol is within us and it's messed up our system. Our inhibitions are lower and our ability to make helpful decisions is greatly diminished. So whereas under any other normal circumstances we would not give in to a craving because we're a little bit drunk, we go, yeah, okay, and have a cigarette and then get up and go, oh no, I relapsed and now I have to start again. If that sounds familiar to you, if that has ever happened, then this video is for you. Just for you. Yes, you. If, however, you can go out and have a few beers and it doesn't impact your quit at all, you have no desire to smoke no matter how much you drink, then that is awesome. However, in the politest possible way, I might suggest to you that there is nothing I can say that will make watching this video a good use of the next 10-15 minutes of your time. However, I do very much thank you for your support. If you'll allow me a second to go off on a bit of a rant, sometimes I'll make videos that are about a specific problem that many people face on their quit journey, and then people will say, well, this doesn't apply to me, therefore it doesn't apply to anyone. Or they'll say, Chris, you realise, right, that this doesn't apply to everybody and it's very important that you know that. Yes, I know that. But it applies to some people, so it's still worth talking about. It's like if I made a video called What to Do If You Have a Broken Leg, then saying to me, Chris, I hope you know that not everybody who has legs has a broken leg. Yeah, I know, but some people do, and some people struggle to successfully quit smoking and drink alcohol, or successfully stay smoke free when going to a party or something like that. So it is worth talking about for those people. Although I have no scientific data to back this up, this is an observation that I have made from the comments on my videos and the people in our Finding Freedom Facebook group. Having been talking about quitting smoking now for a couple of years, I have observed that the two most common reasons that people give for a relapse are arguing with a partner and drinking alcohol. So, if anything, this video is long overdue. We'll get right into it, but before I do, one last little thing I really want to show you because it is so cool. It's the print version of the book Quit Smoking and Be Happy. If you want to know more about the book, stick around. I will talk to you about it at the end of this video. For now, let's dive in to the drinking stuff. We all, at least many of us, are familiar with triggers. We wake up in the morning, it triggers a compulsion to smoke. When we're driving to work, it triggers a compulsion to smoke. one of the biggest and most intense cravings for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people, was after the big evening meal. You're feeling full but not satisfied. Something about that evening meal triggers this compulsion, this need, this insatiable urge to smoke, as if I just won't feel right until I've had a cigarette in this situation. I won't be able to relax. I'll be on edge. I'll be tense. It's like this inner itch. It's like an itch inside that cannot be scratched with anything other than a cigarette. When we drink alcohol, the same thing applies, because for so long we're used to, we always used to have a cigarette after a meal, so that psychological trigger is there along with the physical craving. The same with alcohol. For so long we would drink and smoke and drink and smoke, so when we quit, the psychological thing is there of, you're supposed to be smoking right now, you're drinking, so you're supposed to be smoking right now. It's what you do. These two things go together. Cigarettes and alcohol go together like milk and cereal. At least they do in the twisted view of us when we are smokers. But there's something in the alcohol itself that makes the actual physical urge for a craving just feel that much more intense. Normally, if we were sober and everything was fine, no matter how intense it got, we would be able to act on intention rather than on instinct. Instinct would say to us, just give in to the craving and you'll feel better. Intention is like, no, it is my intention to give myself the health, the happiness and the freedom that I deserve. Therefore, no matter how intense this gets, I know that it will pass and I will get through it. Throw alcohol into that mix and all that goes out the window. Our ability to make helpful decisions goes out the window. Our ability to act on intention goes out the window. Next minute we're staggering around looking for a cigarette, and it's like everything comes into focus. I was reading earlier, they did some research that said the stimulant effects of a cigarette counteract the depressive effects of alcohol. So you're starting to get sloppy drunk and you're tired, and you have a cigarette, the stimulant effects counteract that, and suddenly you're wide awake again, you can go for hours. So it's no wonder many of us give in to that situation and that craving. But of course we want more for ourselves than to having to constantly start again. We want this quit that we're on now to be the quit. The one where we never look back and never have to start again. So what to do? Yep, I'm going to say it, you're going to hate me for it. But if you always do what you've always done, you will always get what you always got. Another popular saying is that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. So, if we keep trying to quit smoking and then going out for a few beers and end up relapsing, if we keep doing this over and over again, nothing is going to change until we change our behavior and we change our actions. Obviously, the most helpful, the easiest thing to do is to just temporarily not drink for a few weeks or a few months until that stage. I talked about this in my video about the 4 stages of quitting smoking. When you reach stage 4, where you're a non-smoker and smoking no longer makes any sense and there's no thought to do it, when you reach that point, absolutely you'll be able to drink, I think, without craving a cigarette. But in the early days, if every time you go out for a drink it derails your quit, it's time to do something different. When you put it like that, it isn't really about alcohol. This is not an anti-alcohol video. It is an anti-whatever it is that is sabotaging our efforts to succeed. If every time you ate a carrot you ended up relapsing, I would be standing here saying, you know what, maybe lay off the carrots for a while. If every time you went to the park you ended up relapsing, I would be stood here saying, do you know what, maybe go somewhere else other than the park until you are absolutely confident that you can go to the park without picking up a cigarette. It isn't about alcohol as this terrible substance. It isn't about a moral objection to alcohol. It's about a moral objection to sabotaging our own efforts for success. I make this analogy all the time. If what I want is on the other side of a brick wall, it doesn't matter what it is, but what I want is on the other side of a brick wall, and I need to get onto the other side of it. Not knowing any better, because I've never had to get to the other side of this brick wall before, I might say, well, do you know what? The best way for me to do this is to limber up, to run headfirst into this brick wall and smash through it. Okay, so I try that and it knocks me on my arse and my head hurts. The sensible thing for me to do would be to say, well, okay, I tried this and it was counterintuitive. The brick wall knocked me on my arse and now my head hurts. So I should maybe try something different, right? I know this now. So if I then backed up and limbered up again and ran headfirst into the brick wall a second time and a third time and a fourth time, you'd be stood there going, man, Chris is an idiot. He keeps running headfirst into the wall and it keeps hurting him. He should just get a ladder or ask me and I'll help him over the wall or walk around it. Likewise with drinking alcohol. If we keep going and drinking alcohol and we keep relapsing, it's time to do something different. If every time we do a thing, that thing sabotages our attempt, it's time to not do the thing. Only temporarily. I'm not here to tell you that you can't ever have a drink ever again, and that if you ever drink ever again you're definitely going to smoke. Not at all. The world is full of men with scruffy blonde hair ruining everything. So you don't need another one saying, no, you can't ever drink ever again. I'm just saying, look, if you're trying to quit smoking and every time you drink you end up with a cigarette in your hand, don't have a drink for a little bit of time. Eventually there comes a point in the quit process, if we stay the course, when we reach what I think I called stage 4. I made the video about the 4 stages of quitting smoking, and stage 4 is where you have the same reaction to cigarettes as a non-smoker, which is to say you don't have any emotional reaction to them at all. Non-smokers don't go out and want a cigarette because it's not part of who they are. We will reach that same stage. Chris, it sounds fine, but it's so hard to go out and not drink. I don't know how to do it. I made a video last Christmas called, it was like how to survive Christmas sober. And the same tips apply, even if you're watching this video now in the middle of summer. The tips that I put in that video about how to go into any social situation and avoid alcohol are still relevant. So I'll put the links to that video up there and down there, and you can watch that if you want to. Chris, if if I tell my friends that I'm not drinking because I want to quit smoking, they'll make fun of me, or they'll encourage me to smoke or to drink, and the pressure will be too much. I'll not be able to say no. Is that true? Are you friends with the kind of people who don't really have your back? Are you friends with the kind of people who won't support you if you say, I want to make a positive change in my life? If so, then you have a way bigger issue that I would like you to think about. I said this in a video a couple of weeks ago. Years ago I told my friends, look, I want to run a marathon. They all said, you'll never do it. Now I've done 2 marathons and those people are no longer my friends. Because I don't need people who aren't supportive of me in my life. I'm not saying they have to worship the ground that I walk on and tell me that I'm the greatest person ever. But people who genuinely care about me, people who genuinely love me will say, okay Chris, you're not drinking because you're trying to quit smoking. I support that because I care about you and I support you. If that is an issue for you that you're dealing with, again, I made another video. It is called What to Do When Friends and Family Aren't Supporting Your Quit, or something like that. Again, card above, description below. I hope this video has been helpful to you in some way. This morning I dived into so much research about alcohol and quitting smoking, but I tried to just keep it simple. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. So if every time you're going out drinking, you're relapsing, it's time to rethink what's going on, right? Now, I promised you that I would tell you a little bit more about this. Quit smoking and be happy. The ebook version is already up on Amazon. If you have purchased it, thank you so much. I hope it is helpful to you. I would love to hear your feedback. Those of you, and many of you have asked me for a print version. Here it is. This is the proof copy. This is the copy I have to go through and say, yep, looks good. I'm happy for this to go on sale, which I pretty much am. I'm going to make a few tweaks to it tomorrow, and next week I will make the big announcement about how you can get hold of it. Thank you so much for your patience with this. I feel like I've been talking about this book forever. It's been a lot of work, but we are finally almost here. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. Please do let me know how you are getting on in the comments below. And as always, for more support on your quit journey, please do come or consider coming and joining us in the Finding Freedom Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/findingfreedom1, where there is a wonderful community of people at all different stages of their quit, supporting one another on their journey. I will see you next week. If I don't see you, speak to you beforehand, have a wonderful Christmas. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.